Good morning, everyone. Traditional Thursday. I've got Tarot of the Divine. I've got the Enchanted Map Oracle, Spirit Animal Oracle, Viking Oracle, and our new rune deck. So, let's go ahead and get it started because I really don't have a lot of time today. And I would like to get this reading out to you before I have to go into work. Yay. Which, by the way, 2 days left. That includes today. And then I'll have a nice 9 straight days. Not having to worry about all those time constraints and everything else. I'll be just trying to get this out to you before 11 a.m. You know? Oh yeah. On the very first day of my paid time off, we'll be doing a live stream on YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern time, by the way. So, hope that you'll be able to make it. Looks like my guest list for that one is growing smaller and smaller. So far as I know, it'll be me, it'll be our be one of the members of the tribe, Josh, who is very well versed in giant lore, amongst other things. And Moots will be there as well, and we'll be just yakking and doing. Blackwell won't be able to be here because he has a prior commitment with his church. So, wish him all the best of luck on that. And then later on that night, he's running a game of Horde Wars. I will be part of that, hopefully. Hopefully I can get all my stuff done. I really won't have to leave anything undone because Sunday I just plan on literally taking a day completely off. That means my butt's going to be planted right here on the couch, probably watching cartoons. And why? Why would I do such a thing? Because I'm a grown-ass man, I pay my bills, and I can. That's probably going to piss someone off out there, and I really don't care. Seethe and cope. That's all I can tell you. I can hear someone out there right now. Oh, how childish. Whatever, dude. I really don't mind. So, let's get into this thing, shall we? Alright. Start with us. Start with you. We've got none other than Freya. We mentioned her last night, didn't we? Or yesterday, rather. She gets first pick of the battle dead. She is the goddess... oh, excuse me. Sorry. That is primarily known for being the goddess of love and war. I throw in passion as well. And if there's something you're very passionate about, today is a day to stand your ground on it. But let's see who the guide is. Valkyries. These two cards are going to go hand in hand, aren't they? Because the Valkyries, they would join you in battle, but boy, would they take a hefty price at times, and most times you. So, you can win your battles today. Those things that you are really passionate about, yes, today is a day to stand your ground and not give an inch. Okay, today is not a day for compromise, especially if you know that what you're fighting for is right. And here's the thing, going with the elephant spirit, we do need to learn from the past. The past was not all sunshine and rainbows, but we do remember elements that were. There you go. And we can still have those great elements from the past, all while learning from the mistakes that were made. You know, there are people out there that say we need a return to the 1950s. And in some ways I agree with them. The prosperity of the 50s, our ability to produce, things like that, those were all great things about the 1950s. Some of us even look to the 1970s as a time of, well, we had a lot of fun in those days. Took a little bit more of a grounded approach to things. We always want a time where things were simpler. I know personally, the 80s and 90s were a pretty simple time for me. Not all of it was great, but most of it was pretty fantastic, to be honest with you. In hindsight, that is. I'd love a return to those days. I'd love a return to the days where I could grab my books and my dice, my pens, my pencils, my paper, sit down at a table, play an RPG, and not have to worry about anything, because everything was already taken care of. Well, now that's over and done. We got that taken care of. Now we're just going to sit down and play a game. And don't you know, there are people that are now wanting to sit at this table and change the entire game because that game was so terrible, and they didn't know it, but they were terrible people who wrote those games. My advice to those people is, if those games are so terrible, then don't play them. It's that simple. I do like a little bit of simplicity. Let me tell you, in those days, the complications came from how many people really didn't want us playing those games, to the point where they would do some pretty heinous stuff. And a lot of it was uncalled for, it was unwarranted, and it was fueled by none other than media. And people wonder why I don't really trust media these days. Well, that was pretty much the start of it. But here's the thing. I also remember those times where I could sit down at a table and play those games. And I had a great time. I had a great time with people. I think the worst game I ever played was by a guy who was just trying to wing it. He knew he was going to run a game. He had a couple weeks to prepare. He prepared nothing. He came in and he tried to wing the whole thing. And it just didn't work out. The next game, another guy stepped in. He didn't have a lot prepared, and you could tell, but the game was infinitely better than the last. And then he prepared a little more as the adventures went on. And the reason that happened was because he just wanted to give us a starting point and see where it went. And then he would kind of work, accordingly. Nothing wrong with that. But even back then, yes, there were horrible things that happened. But if we focus on what we did right, we focus on the positive, guess what? We can bring that stuff back. It doesn't have to be all terrible. So let's go to the tarot and find out what we got. We got a 5 of coins in reverse. That's great news. We got a 6 of swords. And we also have an ace of coins. So start with this 5 of coins here. You're not being left out. In fact, this is a complete reversal of that. You're actually being let in. When you're let in, it's time to humble yourself a little bit. It's time to take it with a little grace and come in and understand that you do have plenty that you need to learn. From the Tale of Perseus, we have this 6 of swords. We're moving on to bigger, better, brighter. We're doing that today. And we are also seeing some new opportunities that we can seize on. Seize on every one of them. And when you know you're right, keep on it. This is one of those days where you're looking at your opportunities Okay, now you're not asking anyone's permission. You're just kind of being, come on in. You're being welcomed. You're moving on to this newer thing, but you have to know that you're absolutely right at it. Understand? And once you know you're right, once you have all your research there, this is especially true in crypto circles, when you know that this crypto, whatever it might be, has a use case, it's real world, it doesn't just look good on paper, but it's been demonstrated and the results have been reproduced, that's one that you can sit on. And everyone else can go, oh, it's a scam, it's all going to zero. And you'll find that when you try to educate them, they don't want to hear anything. They don't have the facts, they don't care. You can actually take that and apply it to just about anything. Be that way today. You don't have to convince anyone else. You just sit on what you know. Share with others who want to hear. After that, back up and just take a seat on them. Because that's going to be as solid as it gets. Your map tells you got a one-ring circus, ride the wave, and then gentle gardener. So here's what's going to happen. The focus is really on you today. Things may have been a bit of a circus. But here's the thing. You're in the spotlight. You can still be entertaining. Do you know what the term entertain means? It means to hold within. What is it about you that people will be holding within? Because today I'm seeing your courage, I'm seeing your strength, I'm seeing your resolve. And so far I'm not seeing anything past that. I'm not seeing you breaking down, I'm not seeing you run away, I'm seeing you dig in. Going with the flow, riding the waves. These waves are going to get big. They will crest. And eventually they will break. The key thing to remember is ride it. For good or ill, ride it. It's going to be mostly for good though, I can definitely see that, because once that wave crests and breaks, then it just flows to shore, doesn't it? But after all that, what do? Well, you don't go back in for another round. You gently take care of what it is you've got. Ladies and gentlemen, you can overwater seeds. So what I'm looking at is you're going to be planting seeds today. And then you'll just gently take care of them. Remember, they need nurturing. It's one thing to aggressively defend them. It's one thing to stand guard at all times. But you cannot be overbearing, otherwise that opportunity will dry up on you. It'll perish, and it can perish very easily if you're not careful. So finally, your runes. We have Thurisaz, well, no kidding. We have Wunyo. And we have Tivaz. So, start here. We've been talking a lot about battles lately, and this rune has been popping up quite a bit. You will probably have to get aggressive. Not gonna lie, you're probably going to have to stand, when we're talking stand your ground, it's one thing to go, hey pal, I'm not moving. I'm planting myself right here like a tree. I'm not going anywhere. The best thing you can do is move along. Don't lay your hands on me, just keep moving. And when that person attempts to move you, you have every right to push back and say, I just warned you very politely, move along. And if all fails, make them regret it. Make them regret not moving along when they could have. This is where you have to do your absolute best today. You really have to pull out all the stops. It's not going to get very pretty, and that's the situation you're in. But what's on the other side of that, you do win. That's what this is. That's what this rune is. Look at how it looks like a raised flag. And I'm talking about that little part right there. You will be raising your flag. You will absolutely get that win. But it depends on how well you stand your ground today. And then finally, the potential outcome for that is none other than Tiva's Tyr's rune, the rune of justice. The path you're on today is one of courage, it is one of resolve, it is one of strength. Even though we didn't have the strength card, we didn't have the Uruz card come in, that's okay. That message is still conveyed. But always keep in mind lessons from the day before, the day before that, the day before that. I know we were flying blind on Tuesday, or Tears Day. I know we were flying blind, and for that I apologize, but there are days where sometimes we gotta learn some stuff on our own. Sometimes we're not gonna get that guidance. Then what do? You fall back on what you know. I hope that you'll do that. I hope that you won't repeat the mistakes of the past. And I hope that all of you know that I love you all. I thank you for being here. Seriously, I can't thank you enough. You guys have made these channels on these various platforms what it is. And like I've said before, even if there's only like 4 or 5 of you on any given day, I'm still going to do that for you. Don't need a million, just need you. If you know of someone else who needs this, feel free to pass this along to them, share it. Anyway, I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Always do what lights you up. And as always, shine on. Yeah, just a real quick one here. Once again, live stream, YouTube. That will be Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You're gonna have tea with me, or breakfast, however you want to do it. Totally up to you. Also, what else was I gonna say? And see, I just completely blanked on that one. Also, if you have any other suggestions as to how you can get a private reading of your own, be sure to drop those in the comments section. I am always happy to hear from you, especially since I'm still looking into other means of getting, opening up some more options for you. So, if you're just adverse to shopping at Amazon, I understand. Take it from me, I really understand. I still do, but not as much as I used to. Oops. There we go. And if you would like a private reading, very simple. Go into the link tree, find the Amazon wishlist app, You throw me something off the Amazon wish list, a deck, a book, you know, a new tarot cloth or whatever, I throw you 2 readings, 2 questions to be redeemed at any time, plus a birthday reading. I'm gonna say this though: if you purchase one of those role-playing game books that run like $40-50, I'm gonna throw in a couple extra readings. And the reason I want to do that is because that's a little more money than I think people should be spending, but it's also one of those things where if you're gonna give me a gift like that, you're gonna give me something I value very highly. Well, then I'm gonna give you that kind of value. Just how I roll. Anyway, I do have this coming week off. Sunday is going to be the day that I'm planning on taking completely off, and after that, then it's right back to the readings. Even though I'm taking some paid time off from work, I am still going to be doing the Monday to Friday, and then, you know, that sort of thing. And if it does well, I'm hoping to make the live stream like a bi-weekly thing. So let's hope it does well both in live stream and replay. I don't know why I just did that. That was... See, I'm not paying attention. Wrong cards, wrong box. That happens sometimes. See, yep. See, you get to see me screw up occasionally too. So, I hope that your day goes well. I hope your victories are well earned, and I hope that you don't focus too much on the battle. You know, we talked about sacrifices yesterday. Well, guess what? They may pay off. But it still depends on you. Alright, finally, I hope you join me on high notes. I'm going to have your spirit animal card for the day. And you know, those little 1-minute readings are always a great time. Sometimes they don't even take that long. Just 30 seconds of me grabbing a card, explaining it to you, and explaining how it, sometimes, a little more often than not now, it links up right with the reading that we do today, right here. Hope to see you there. Alright. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.